Yes, good afternoon from Amsterdam to everybody, and good morning from New Jersey.
Yes.
Um, it's a beautiful day in both locations, so I hope that you are enjoying a beautiful Saturday wherever you are in the world. I am very blessed to have a wonderful person today with me because the purpose of me going live during this period of demanding times is to have people that inspire me. They are top specialists in their area, and so that you can get inspired, or you can get um, strategies for your business, for your mental well-being, for your emotional well-being, so that you can thrive in this period. And Lisa is a successful business and life strategist for professionals. She's an executive and business coach for top-level executives, business leaders, and entrepreneurs, helping them to develop outstanding strategies and resources to help them overcome any challenges that weigh them down. She is the author of two amazing books, best-selling, both of them, Fine and Brand New. And she's always in high demand and seen by millions on ABC, CBS, Fox, Huffington Post, TEDx, main television stations in the United States. And over the last 30 years, Lisa has advised and helped nurture the businesses of many professionals thriving today. And she supports her clients in increasing their revenues, in reducing operating expenses, helps a lot with marketing and sales, both online and offline business, and helping them reposition as leaders in their industries. And she works on personal level on helping people overcome their lack of focus or self-sabotage, poor decision making, barriers to reaching fiscal and personal goals. And here's the thing, she puts her money where her mouth is. She has done over 60 million in personal sales in her career, and led countless professionals to multi-million dollar businesses, including herself. She's very generous. I am very happy to have her here because she has trained over 125,000 people around the world through her seminars, live seminars in well-being, in leadership, in sales and marketing, to grow themselves and their business. She's very generous, and this is also one of the things that I invited her. And thank you, Lisa Lieberman-Wang, for joining us
Well, thank
and
you, Jen.
sharing your wisdom.
My
So,
pleasure. My pleasure.
so um, Corona period, and many people freaked out. You were one of the first to see this as an opportunity, and you showed up in helping others going online. So let's start maybe with this.
Absolutely. One of the things I saw is when this happened, there's always two sides to every coin, right? There's
Yes,
heads or tails. There's two sides to every bill. There's two sides to every story here, and we can look at it as crisis and devastation or opportunity. And I looked at it as what's happening right now for my client. And I actually call my client Samantha, although I do have men clients, but I'm very intimate with my client. And I think that everybody in business needs to know their ideal client, their avatar.
yes,
And
yes,
what I did is at that time, I said, wow, what's happening in her life right now? I've been blessed to have 4 businesses, 2 internet marketing companies. One's a web development company, and that's for several decades. And then also other businesses with coaching and consulting as well. And I said, what's happening right now is that anybody who was used to brick and mortar, not click and order, anyone who's used to handshakes and relationship building is not as comfortable sitting behind a computer and doing business
yes,
as I've been doing for decades.
yes,
So I turned around and I said, well, I was supposed to be in California. I had flights booked to speak for a women's networking company for hundreds of women. I had that canceled. I had another one in Florida canceled. I had one in New Jersey canceled. I'm thinking, wait a second, all these things are happening. They're all scheduled. Business still has to go on. And I thought about it. I said, what is it she needs right now? And she's an entrepreneur business person. I said, well, what she needs is, how do you reach more people online without
Yes.
traveling? And right away, within 40 hours, I made a decision. I'm posting this. I'm going to put together the training because it's something that's easy for me to do. And I had 420 people click on that link within those 40 hours for the event. We had 180 something registered. We had 84 show up. And here's the best part is that 90 something percent stayed to the end of a 90-minute presentation. Now, you and I both know people don't have long attention spans, but
No.
people wanted this information. It was so important, and so important that I want to add one piece. And this is a piece that I want you to take properly, is that in this time, there's a lot of people have the mental state that people aren't spending money, that they're not going to invest, that they're not going to be doing things. And I did not do that with the intention of selling anything. I
No.
did it with the intention of, let me show her step by step by step by step how to get online, how to reach people, how to market, how to sell, what they can be doing, how to leverage their networks that they already have. And
Yes.
it turned out that I ended up getting some clients from that was just about a 6-figure income in that week.
Yes.
And people saying people aren't spending money. I know they're spending money. I'm spending money. The lawn people are still coming and doing our lawn. They're just not near us.
Yeah.
We're still eating. We're still buying things. I have a friend who has a furniture company online. They said they're up 248% in sales because people online now don't know what to do with themselves, right?
Yeah, but it's probably now a changing consciousness because people now start to focusing more, oh, what I really need.
Right.
And you always offer, it's so focused and it's so um, full of great strategies that are proven already that help people grow their businesses
Yes.
also off and online.
Yes.
So this makes it more tangible to people, right?
Yes. Absolutely.
Now, here's the thing. You know what the LinkedIn, unfortunately, I cannot go live on LinkedIn right now, not yet. I don't know if you manage already to get the approval,
I
but the video will, yes, so the video will get to LinkedIn a bit later. But then let's talk a little bit about the ideal client when you think about your ideal client in building your online and offline business.
Absolutely. So one of the first things I like to do is think about who it is you're marketing to and get to know that person very, very intimately. And what I mean by that is, if you're B2B, who are you selling to? What size is the company? How many employees do they have? What is their overhead? What's their big expense? Where are they spending their money? When the owners and the business managers go to sleep at night, what is it that keeps them up that they really can't, that they're trying to find a solution for? How are they making the decisions? Where are they making those decisions? If we're doing B2C, business to consumer, then we get even so specific to the fact of naming them, even the business we name. Like, is it a male or female? How old are they? The mistake I hear, Catalina, people make, they'll say, well, my avatar is 30 to 65. No, they are not. My avatar is 45 years old. And the reason she's 45 is that a 30-year-old is at a very different stage in her life than a
Absolutely.
55. 55 is thinking retirement. 35 may have younger kids, thinking college funds, other things. Like, where is their interest and what are they doing? So when I think about who we're marketing to, you want to get to know that person so well that what are they doing? How are they spending their free time? How do they commute? Are they driving? Are they on the train? How are they getting there? Are they
Which social media are they using, and
absolutely?
how much they spend on the social media?
Absolutely, because people are over there marketing to people on Pinterest when their clients are on LinkedIn. It's like looking, I turned around, I'm speaking to one of my clients and she's like, oh, I'm on Facebook. I said, okay, but from what I understood, your avatar is on LinkedIn. She goes, I don't know how to use LinkedIn. I go, I think you need to learn because
Yes.
you're not going to
Yes.
find her on Facebook if she's on LinkedIn. You need to go to LinkedIn. And that's the mistake some people are making, because they're doing what's easy to them, but not what's smart for their business. We have to get so focused. And why we want to know so much about the avatar is that the more we know, the more specific we can make our decisions to where to go. So if I know that the person's commuting and listening to podcasts, then maybe I need to be on podcast. But if I
Yes.
know that that person doesn't have a commute, doesn't listen to podcasts, doesn't go on to LinkedIn, or doesn't go on to this, then that's not where I need to be.
Right.
And that's where we have to be looking to get to know the person so well. Another piece is that there's a very big difference between wants and needs. So here's
Yes.
what ends up happening. People keep selling to people's needs, not their wants. It's not going to work, because here's an example. I always knew I needed to work out. It's a good idea to work out, isn't it? But it wasn't until I wanted to work out that I actually started to. And what happened is I had a head injury, and I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia, and the doctor said, you have to work out. I said, what do you mean? Well, they gave me medication. I said, I won't do any drugs. I won't do any medication. They said, okay, well, then you have to swim. I said, what else can I do? They said, swim with old ladies or do yoga. I go, I can do that. That's what got me started in 2008 with exercising. But prior to that, I always needed to exercise, but I didn't want
Yeah.
to. But I
So,
didn't want to be on drugs, medication, and that was
right.
a big enough want for me to go do something about it.
And maybe the ones that are quite urgent, right? So uh, maybe on a 6 month span or something, because we can have ones. I might want to go to climb Kilimanjaro, but not now, right?
Absolutely.
So look at this, have a sense of urgency as well, right?
Absolutely. And we also want to look where they merge, because I always look at it, if here's my needs and here's my wants, where do I find the sweet spot where it's a need and a want, and they'll spend money for it? Where's a sweet spot where they put their
Yes.
hands in their pocket and they say, I'm going to get that. That's important to me. Because here's the truth. Everybody needs a lot of things. Everybody needs to be healthy and lose weight. They're not all doing that. Everybody needs to have financial independence. Not everybody's doing it. We all need to
Yeah.
have, but it's not until we want to take the action that we do that to get what we need, right? So it says we want to take it so we get what we need. So that's really where we have to look when we're talking about our ideal client. Every decision I've made with my business has been based on my Samantha. So whoever it is, what's your ideal client's name? If you gave them a name.
Daniela.
Daniela. Okay, so when we know what Daniela wants, we know what Samantha wants. Our decisions are literally about them. It's funny. I actually work with an SEO coach who is the vice president of Your Tango. They have 11 million unique visitors a month. And we'll have conversations of articles we're going to write and things we're going to put out there for my avatar.
Yes.
And I'll say, and then I'll turn around and I'll say something. And I said, well, I don't think Samantha wants that. She goes, no, Samantha wants it. And we'll have a whole discussion about how Samantha wants this, because she's my Samantha, which is very funny. So we'll have a discussion. I go, I don't think it's good for Samantha. She goes, no, I think it is.
Yeah. And I have a question, because many, I'm sure at least on LinkedIn, many coaches and consultants will watch this and will start thinking, okay, but you know what? I don't want to limit myself to a Samantha, so to a woman, because you have also lots of men as
Yes,
clients.
yes.
So that doesn't mean that if you name your ideal client Samantha, and this will mean that you have only women as clients, right? So can you expand on this?
Great point. Great point. Here's why we do it. Because when we're going to go and spend time and money to market, we need to know where to go. So it makes us more laser focused on our decision making. It doesn't mean we're not going to attract Sam's, Tom's, Dick's, Harry's, Sue's, and Samantha's, and Daniela's. We're going to attract everybody, but in the sense that we're not going to spend our time and money marketing to them. We want to market specifically to the ideal client. Now, there's another variable with the ideal client. They're profitable. There's a big difference. We may find Sam's, but we know Samantha is the most profitable person to work with. She knows she has a want and a need for what we have, and here she can afford it. That's a big one. Profitable, can afford it, and it's fun to work with. I like the fun to work with, because here's what it is. I love doing what I do. I want to do it. I would do it free also, because I love it so much, but I'd like getting paid. The piece that's really important is that we don't need to take on clients that actually drain us. We need to take on clients that lift us up, and we can lift them. So that's
absolutely. Absolutely. So how do we go online with businesses? So many people, they are very good in face-to-face coaching or other services as well. How do we go online?
Well, I think the thing is to make sure your messaging is very clear. In my book, Brand You Become the Expert, I actually teach this. This is Brand You Become the Expert. If you just go to brandyoubecometheexpert.com, you can get the book for free.
Yes.
And if
So
you're in
brandyou.com. Okay.
no,
Thank you so
brandyoubecometheexpert.com.
.com. Okay.
The whole thing.
brandyoubecometheexpert.com.
Yes. And you just cover the shipping. I'm giving the book for free. We talk about a sensational soundbite. That's actually where you can say what you do, so it's so clear that your avatar raises their hand and say, I want that. So for an example, I actually wrote a book, F.I.N.E to Fab, years ago, and it's a #1 bestseller. And F.I.N.E to Fab was how I used to feel. And it actually I'm going to kind of curse. Is that okay?
It's good. It's good. You can see F.I.N.E to Fab. Yeah.
F.I.N.E stood for how I used
Yeah.
to feel: frustrated, which was really effed up, insecure, neurotic, and emotional, to fabulous, awesome, beautiful. And what that was is I really had to overcome self-sabotage. All these successful people that were hurting themselves, including myself. I had an eating disorder. I was sexually abused. Things happened. I chose to hurt myself for 13 years, and I have 26 years of not doing that today, which is wonderful. But what was interesting is that when I would go to some place and I was talking about F.I.N.E to Fab, I would turn around and the people would say, what do you do? And I'd say, well, I actually help successful women stop hurting themselves and go from how I used to feel, which was fine, effed up, insecure, neurotic, and emotional, to being fabulous, awesome, beautiful. And I do that without years of shame, blame, and therapy. Who do you know who would be interested? Yeah. And then I would have people turn around, and this happened to me. I went to a luncheon with a group of Samanthas, and one person after the thing comes over, this is why I'm here. I'm here to meet you. And nice. It was like awesome. And she became a client. You need to have a conversation, whether it's online or off, that makes people understand in a moment what you do. If you're out there and you're saying, I'm a mortgage broker, I'm a business coach, I'm a life coach, I'm a consultant, I do insurance, I do mortgages, whatever it is you do, it's called marketing myopia. You're holding a sign saying, I do this, and everybody else is holding up the same sign. So why should I go
How do you differentiate yourself?
Right. How do you differentiate yourself? Why would I go to Catalina versus Lisa? Well, the thing is, each one of us are unique. There's not one person in the world that is the same. Yet if you don't know how to differentiate yourself from the competition, nobody knows that. So you need to really brand yourself to be specifically what people are looking for. Again, satisfy their want, not necessarily their need, and then sell them what they want and then give them what they need. That's how you have to market. So when you're online, making sure that you're branding yourself, that your logo is there, that the message is consistent with your brand. I see too many people hawking different products. Stop selling products, start selling outcomes. That's really a big difference.
That's a good one. Start selling outcomes and not products.
Right, because if we're selling products, we're competing with everybody else. I remember, I love this, when Mr. Revlon from the Revlon Cosmetic Company was once asked, they said, what is it you do? And everybody's thought, oh, he sells cosmetics. And he's like, no, he goes, I sell hope.
Yes.
And there are companies that are in the transportation business, and they're railroads and stuff, but they're in the transportation business. We need to know what we do at the core, because right now with the coronavirus and times where 20% of the businesses have already gone out of business, projected 40% may go out of business if they don't take the actions they need to do right now. And that's why I went online to do that online event. And if you go to onlineevents.lisalieberman-wang.com, I took that video and I made it into an opportunity so you can go watch it. But here's the piece. We need to position ourselves as the experts now. And a lot of people are sitting back and going, I'm going to wait till this is over. I'm going to go do something. But what it is if you're not visible online now, people won't know you when it's over. And you're going to be like months behind. You're not going to be like a month behind. You'll be 2-3 months plus the ramp up.
Fully agree.
You need to be out there being the message, not just talking about Corona, being the solution for your clients based on where they are right now. I have a client that does princess parties, and they were all in-house and at the mansion, and they can't. We had to get them online, and within 2 days, we got them online to be able to market, because they had 8 actors and actresses that would have been out of business.
Yes.
So that was so important to be able to give them that vehicle to take what they're doing and putting it through. We use Zoom and other services where they can do like online parties. They would have been out of business if they didn't get quickly think and change. Anyone who's in the event business is hurting now, and that's why
Yeah.
I'm doing a live event online.
Right. And these are two pieces or many more pieces. So one is finding the business parts and that come together, how to go online and be successful in creating online events. But before that, it's the mental shift that people need to make
Yes.
from the old ways of doing, and maybe we will go back. I don't know. We never know. We don't have certainty of what's going to happen, but I think more and more people will realize, oh, okay, there are opportunities online. I can do a lot online. I don't have to travel that much, and I can meet my clients very well in a different way by going online. So what would be the steps to take? Yeah, what do you think that
Well,
somebody that is very successful in their business offline, how would that translate into the online
Well, that's exactly what I'm
success?
doing with all my clients right now. We're looking at who their ideal client is. What's the problem they have right now? So the first thing we need to know is what problem are you solving for your ideal client?
Yeah.
Then what we need to know is how do we reach them? Where are they right now? What we're finding is a lot of the businesses have learned that they had never realized they could be offline. So first we need to figure out what problem we're going to solve. Then we have to figure out where we're going to reach the people. Then we need to figure out what the technology is that we need to be
Yes.
using to do that, right? Then we need to have some things in place to make sure they're secure, that depending on the kind of business you have, you want to make sure it's not public and out there.
Yes.
There are ways to do that, and there's a lot of different services out there. It can cause some confusion for people, but there's enough options for us to do it
Absolutely.
effortlessly and
Absolutely.
inexpensively. Where years ago I worked for IBM and MCI. And MCI, for us to do this and do conference calling, I was selling this 30 years ago when a pen dropped, and the pen would drop, but you would see it go like it would not
It
drop,
was
it would
very,
drop,
yes.
because we
Yeah.
didn't
It's
have
very
what we
slow.
have.
Yeah.
So today we have so much more than we had back then, and it makes
Absolutely.
it easy for us to do that. I think as well is to also see what's necessary. A lot of businesses are scaling down. They're finding out that they have to put people on furlough or do different things, and they may find they don't need the people. But with the government supports, at least in the US, we know.
Yeah, it's everywhere
Okay,
in the
so
Western Europe as well.
awesome. With the government support, I think people also need to know that not everybody's not going to have money. You said mindset. I think that's what people have to hear. There are people that will walk away being more profitable than they ever were before because of this.
Yes,
That's one.
absolutely.
There will be people that are hurting, but if you look at the percentages, it's not everyone. And you have to look at your ideal client and say, are they still working? Are they still bringing in an income?
Oh, so we have a technical thing, but we'll sort it out. Um, Let me send her a message that she's out. So internet does this sometimes. So that's very important also before we get there, to work through the mindset. For my business, I used to work a lot offline and online. But now it's already going and being out there and helping as many people as possible. And Lisa is there.
Yes.
So mindset is crucial in making sure that we show up there with our flaws. Nobody's perfect. We are learning every single day, but we take the step. We take the step because we think about what do we provide for people, for our clients, and we need to be right there, because if we are not leaders, others will be leaders. And if you are a leader and you feel that you have something to do on this planet and help others to grow themselves and grow their businesses, you need to let go of insecurities and flaws and just get in the train, because the train is going and we're gonna learn every single day by showing up. Okay, Lisa, thanks for coming back.
And we were just talking about technology, and that's a
Yeah.
great That's a great.
Awesome. That happens,
But I think it was so appropriate to also be taking imperfect action. Like things are going to happen.
Yes.
It's how we deal with it. It's going to be there's going to be a transition where sometimes it's not going to work perfectly. You're going to figure it out as you go. But it's about taking the imperfect action right now, because if you don't, you will be left behind, like you were saying.
Yes.
Yes.
So we go online. There's Zoom. There's so many different companies. But that, by the way, we were talking. These are thriving right now because it's their market right now.
Yes.
So they just need to up their security issues and make sure that people have great experiences, and they will go very well in their stock and stock prices. So which one do we choose? How do we choose? Where do we start? So somebody that doesn't know too much about
Well, I mean, I think a couple of things. First, I've been using GoToMeeting for almost 2 decades now. I was the beta testing for 1,000 people on a webinar. We took their voice down because they didn't think we can do it, and I did it in one day. And they're like, "How did you do that?" It's like, well, I've been building business online for decades. I know how to do that. So there's GoToMeeting, GoToWebinar, depending, and there's also e-learning type platforms. It depends on the business. Google has online platforms. Zoom.us is another platform as well. And here's what's happening. There's some that are very inexpensive. Zoom.us is the least expensive platform, where it's like $15 a month or $100 a year to be able to have unlimited pro account, where you can actually have your own meeting rooms and set up events and online things, and they've actually fixed the security issues, so that's been really wonderful. The other things that are out there, like we're using now, Yardstream or B.Live and stuff, that you can go live on multiple platforms at a time,
like we are doing just now,
like we're doing right now. Those are for really transmitting information and stuff. Whatever you're doing, there's other benefits to different things. If we go into that, when you have a YouTube live or a Facebook live, and if you get LinkedIn live, those benefits to being live in those arenas is that they notify everybody who's already connected to you when you go live, so it actually increases your viewership. If you've never built mailing lists, if you've never collected text messaging, text numbers, if you've never created your list of possibilities, prospects, leads, or anything else, you need to be doing that now. If you didn't do it before, it's super important. Email or snail mail is back. Literally, snail mail is back. You get a letter in the envelope, something in the mail, as well as emails where they were hurting forever. There's still plenty going to spam. There's less than 30 to 20% delivery rate of them.
Yes.
But yet we still need to have different mediums to get our messages out to people. And if you're not leveraging them, that's a mistake. I always think everything needs 5 legs. If you had a table, you wouldn't just have 1 leg. You wouldn't have 2. Maybe you'd have 3. But if you had 4, that'd be good. 5 would be even better. What I mean by that is 5 ways to be able to reach people. So if we're going to be leveraging, in the past, we would have leveraged networking events, business meetings, doing different things, seeing people. Now there's businesses online doing networking. Now there's emails, text messaging, there's webinars, there's many different ways you can be doing. You could be speaking at other places, becoming the expert, but you need to get yourself visible. Like, this is where it's like, see me, look, I'm here. But here's the thing is, if you're going to do that, add value, not just because otherwise they're going to turn you off and not listen if it's not going to add value to the end user.
Yeah. And how do you get, how do you coach your clients that have this fear about technology? Oh my God, what do I do? Or where do people can get integrated solutions for everything to go online?
Well, I provide them for all of my clients, so it makes it easy. One of my clients said I'm the one-stop shop, because we have a web development company, because we've been building funnels for years, because we've been coaching people and building themselves in their business, we become a one-stop shop. I think the mistake people are making is that they're buying everything and they don't understand how
separately.
Yes. So let me buy Kartra for this. Let me buy ClickFunnels. Let me buy Kajabi. Let me buy WebJam, Webinar Jam. Let me buy this. I'm naming all stuff that at one point I might have bought, by the way, because I didn't know better as well. And I didn't have anybody 10 years ago telling me this is what
how to do it. Exactly.
So I learned by trial and error. and found that, wait a second, I'm buying this, but this one already does it. And this one already does that. And I don't need to buy that constant contact or vertical response or Aweber because it's already built into this. And
Yes.
there's so many people that are just, they need to consult with someone, if not me, that's totally okay. Someone who actually knows what's out there. And then even when they pick things and platforms, Catalina, there's so many, whether it's
Yes. How do you
Thinkific,
choose? How do you know what to choose?
and it all goes back to how you're going to run your business. This is where people are making mistakes. It's like, if I'm going to run my business and I'm going to be working with online programs and things I want to host, how long am I going to host it? How long am I going to make it available to the end user? That will discern if I'm going to build my own platform or pay monthly. Why would I incur an additional expense every single month if I'm going to have it up for life? That's silly.
Yes.
It'd be cheaper for me to build it myself, pay one time versus monthly. People don't think like that. They say, oh, it's only $20 a month, $30 a month, $50 a month. And before you know it, you're spending $5,000 a month on maintenance, which you could have actually spent it up front and then never had to pay again.
Yes.
But when you don't think like that, you don't think long term, people's mistakes is they're looking at here, which is what's happening with the virus, what's here. But we have to see the future in advance. We have to go into the future and say, what is it that's going to happen? Where am I going to be in not the next 2 weeks, the next 6 months, the next year, the next 5 years? What's going to happen? What can we forecast? And I think that's the important thing. What I'm going to forecast, and we'll see if I'm right in 5 years, is a lot of the businesses that thought they needed the brick and mortar will end up being click and order online.
Yes, absolutely.
They're going to turn around and say, oh, you know what? I don't have to travel as much as I did before. The budgets for traveling is going to change when they found out I can actually do
We can do it differently. Yes.
But we can do it differently. So if we look at human behavior, which we both are masterful at, we'll start saying, okay, what will people, we still want to get a hug. I want hugs. I still miss my hugs. I still want to get into community, but there'll be different decisions being made. Is, do I really need that now? Or is there a better way for me to do that that's economical? How is the business going to sustain? Where before I thought I had to keep putting everybody on planes. Now I found, you know what? I can save more time. Here's an interesting piece. Catalina, I've been sitting in the same, not the same chair, they keep getting new ones, but I've been sitting in the same position literally for a couple of decades, over 20 years. And my business has been online from the very beginning. I have been doing this with clients all over the world for over 20 years. And people right now are saying, oh my God, can we do business? Every business I built the first year made 6 figures. And then later on, we built 2 that did 7. And the thing that people don't understand is that your mindset of how you believe and how you want to build your business is really displayed, created, designed by you. It's designed by you. And if you believe it's going to work, you're going to attract those people who want it the way you do. I want to save time. I don't want to spend 4 hours when I could spend 1. I don't want to spend a half hour when I could spend 10 minutes. And that's what you start learning with technology, how you can leverage your time and get more done in less time, no commuting. You don't have to worry about going there, getting there, finding a parking spot. I think I can have tea with you while we're here.
So we have a question from James Martin from Ireland. What platform do you use now for online courses, email and CRM, Lisa?
Okay, well, right now that's a loaded question, James. So right now, what I'm using is ClickFunnels is what I've been using the most for the funnels and bringing people in some membership sites. I have a 1-year online program, which is the NAP Leadership and Coaching Academy. We built that. We built the membership site because there's 150 videos in it. People have access indefinitely. And I didn't want to be tied to a service that if I want to cancel ClickFunnels, I can. But if I'm making something accessible to people for a lifetime, I need to maintain it. And me hosting it myself is more economical to do that. So I use that as well. And there's programs like Active Campaign and stuff. We're just using Aweber, integrating it with the ClickFunnels, and we've been happy with that. There are inexpensive things out there if you want less expensive, and one of them is Trainific, or it's called Trainific, I believe. I might be saying it wrong. I think I'm combining 2 different ones. Thinkific. There's a Thinkific. Think, T-H-I-N-K, Thinkific. So Thinkific is one of the ones that are out there that's inexpensive to use. There's a lot out there. You got to be careful. They seem like they're cheap when you get in, but when you start scaling, you find out you're spending more than you need to. Yes.
Awesome. So that's very important maybe for those that can afford to go for integrated solutions, because it might be more expensive upfront, but on long run, having somebody to guide you, it might save time and energy and your insanity, right?
Right. Well, I have a new
So
business. One of my clients actually is a coach for moms with autistic children. And right now for her business, it doesn't make sense to invest $100 or $300 a month for some of the programs that are out there to host sites. So we literally are putting her into a membership site through her WordPress. And
yeah,
that way she doesn't have to pay any additional monthly fees. It's all there. She can get people to come in. And there are plenty of things like the Kajabi, and there's also
yeah,
Kartra, and there's also Thinkific. There's so many, Teachable, there's plenty. That's why I said you really need to know your business. There's even Coach Accountable, but the challenge with that, I mean, it's a great software and it makes them take tests and do things, but you're paying indefinitely. You need to know when the memberships are going to be done.
yes.
It's worth it. Yeah.
Awesome. So next weekend you have a seminar experience. It's really a university made in 2 days. So
Yeah.
tell us about it.
Well, actually, it's Mastery to Millions. It's 7 secrets every business must know to grow their business in today's economy. And the reason it came about is because I went to an event with some of my clients last year, and they turned around and we all lacked luster. It was an event to teach women how to make $1 million businesses. We walked away with a sell fest of everybody trying to sell us something, but not giving us anything we can apply immediately.
Yeah.
It turned out that we walked, and it was good, it would be great, but we're coming home on the plane, there's 4 of us, and the girl said to me, Lisa, we're just spoiled with you. Everything you do, you give us actionable steps we can do right now, and we see something. I said, of course, because I have plenty to give. I'm not limited. I can give. So
You believe in abundance, right?
I do. We
So
all
is
have
it?
abundance. And I
Yeah.
put together what I have done. And they kept saying, well, how did you do that? How did you make every business the first year into 6 figures? Realize that if someone's in the coaching consulting business, most people do not make 6 figures. The average coach, life coach, whatever, makes $28,000 a year. My first year just with F.I.N.E, we did 150, and that was not me like really being crazy about it. Then we doubled and
Yes.
doubled and tripled and stuff like that. And people are like, well, how do you do that? And I realized there was a methodology, and I'm teaching that methodology, but then I'm going down even further and I'm making it into a workshop where I'm going to teach you how to do these pieces in your business, and then test it out with groups. In other words, work on your sensational soundbite and then test it out with other people in the room.
When you say sensational soundbite, maybe you can explain them what
Well,
it is
that's
for
what I
those.
was saying before when I said the F.I.N.E to Fab, how I help people go from here
Yes.
to here. It's having that soundbite that somebody knows exactly what you do. It covers your problem. It covers the
So
advantages, the benefits, the solution, what's in it for them. And the cool thing about it is we literally will have you work on your ideal client. We'll have you work on your sensational soundbite. We'll have you test it with other people to see who could identify people who could relate to it, how to massage it. We're going to also teach you how to market and how to create joint ventures and affiliates and other types of things. Think differently about how to grow your business. So it's a workshop more than a lecture. It's more integrated with everything. So you walk away with actionable steps you can take to apply to
awesome.
your business immediately. It's 2 days. It's Saturday and Sunday, April 18th and 19th.
I will be there, by the way. I will be there.
I'm excited
So
you'll be joining us. And the
yes.
cool thing about it is that this was originally for 2 weeks ago, and the hotels canceled our event. And I had to become resourceful, just like we talked about. I was
Yes.
like, okay, people say, are you canceling it? I said, no, I'm not canceling it. We're going to put it online. I just need to make sure I can get the experience I want, and the breakout rooms let me do that, where you can work on it, because we'd sit people up with tables and they'd be working on things, getting feedback.
Yes.
So we can do that now. I'm like, okay,
Online. Yeah.
we're set, we're online, so you can do it for the comfort of your home. And then we decided to create it as a stimulus package because, quite frankly, it's a $2,000 event and people were paying to come. And I said, you know what? I want to make it so there's no excuse. So we gave 75% off. We just cut the price. We go, okay, covert stimulus, 75% off for the 2 days, and we're going to let you bring a guest. So
Nice.
it's like no money. Like, this is not an investment. You don't have to fly to come. You can just go ahead, work on your business, not in your business. And I'm going to show you how to create multiple 6- and 7-figure businesses.
So just to recap, end of this weekend with you,
Yes.
a person that comes there with another person, what would they have in their hands and in their minds to go forward to their life?
Oh,
To
awesome. Well, I provide a workbook. So what we're going to do is have an actionable plan. I actually call it a business success model. You're going to actually know what you have to do first, second, third, fourth, what the funnels are going to look like to be able to bring people through processes. You're going to know what you're going to be saying to them, what you're going to be marketing, who you're going to be looking to work with. You're going to create some joint ventures and create some lists of people that you'll be able to contact to be able to start building that business bigger than it was. You'll get new ideas and strategies to be able to do that. We're going to have masterminds to have other people give you input so that you know what else you can do as well. So by the time you're done, you're going to have actionable steps to, as well as stuff you've done there, to apply to your business.
and knowing you, because that's why you're here, I invite people that are really I look up to, and they are really generous and very good at what they do, like me, because I own it. I'm very good at what I'm doing myself. So I come to your workshop because I know that I will get much more that I put in, and that's always the kind of person you are, and probably that's why the life rewards you as it rewards, because you put so much goodness into the world. So if people are interested, I'll put it in the comment, and also on LinkedIn, because I will put this recording on LinkedIn as well. Where can they get more information? Tell me.
Just go to masterytomillions.com. You can put the link up.
Mastering Millions,
No,
mastering.
Mastery. I put it in our private chat. You can copy it. It's Mastery, Mastery, to
Yes.
millions.com. And it's also F.I.N.E spell it all out.
Yeah.
F.I.N.E for
Yeah,
business,
I have it.
Mastery to Millions. And you can get all the information about everything that's going to be there. We did this in October. One woman who came to the event, she was an entrepreneur, never even started her business. She had this idea to sell soap. Catalina, I kid you not, the next weekend she went out with what she learned, and she did over 5 figures in sales, in the
Yeah.
thousands of dollars, selling soap from what she learned at the event. And it was her first pop-up party that she did, and she had never done it before, but for what she learned, she went out and made money from it. So it was pretty cool. Yes,
And
find.
then it's mastery to millions,
Yep, they both will bring you to the
.com.
same place. Yes. And
.com.
even talking about that, branding is so important. Having the reason why I even have Find to Fab for business is because the brand is Find to Fab. Why do I have Mastery to Millions? Because people are going to be able to attract to different things. There are some people that have already in the high six figures, but they had never gotten to the millions, right?
Yeah.
There are people that are now putting resuscitators on their self because their business isn't where it needs to be. So understanding they're going to be attracted to different things. Find to Fab for business, taking your business from effed up to
Yeah.
fab would be a
And
good thing right now.
just to be clear for everybody, this is not only for coaches or consultants.
Mm-mm.
So this would benefit from the various industries, right?
Absolutely. I have people coming in finance, in medical, in consulting, and
Yeah.
coaching, brick and mortar, click and order. If you have a business and you want to expand it right now, this is for you. And if you're looking to scale the business and you want to have some new innovative ways to do it, I will
Yeah.
provide you with many.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Lisa. You are a wonderful human being and a fantastic businesswoman. Um, Wishing all the best and have an amazing weekend. And I'll see you next week. And we'll reconnect also via LinkedIn as well.
Absolutely. Thank
Thank
you.
you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful, Eastern weekend if you celebrate Eastern, or a wonderful weekend for everybody else. Thank you so much.
Bye.